What's up, house groups? It's kind of wild that we are already into December and this is the last normal house groups of 2026, but I just want to say thank you for being a part of this group. I know life is busy and it's not easy to prioritize group and carve out the time, but I'm convinced that this is transformational in ways we don't even fully see or recognize, maybe until years later as we're looking back. And also, I want to say thank you to the leaders and the hosts of these house groups, especially those of you who are doing both. It's a lot. It's a lot, you guys, and the time and sacrifice they're putting in helps all of us. So thank all of you for being a part of house groups, and thank you so much to all the leaders. You guys are amazing, and you make Revision go. All right, on Sunday, we kicked off a new Christmas series called The Mess Before the Manger, and I want to circle back to one big idea from the message. Our mess is the reason for the manger. Matthew begins his narrative of the Christmas story in a weird place. Not with angels or shepherds or a star, but with a genealogy. A long list of names that most of us honestly skip right over when we're reading the book. But there's a reason those names are there, and it's worth slowing down to examine. Matthew is showing us something important. Jesus didn't just enter the world, he entered into a family line, and it was a family that was super messy, like full of deeply broken, deeply human people just like us. And it's hard to miss that fact when Matthew counterculturally and surprisingly puts the names of a few women into the genealogy, something that just did not happen in the first century. So it causes us to kind of press pause and remember the stories of those women. Complicated stories full of pain and scandal and trauma. And the first one is Tamar in Genesis 38. And it's a story so messed up, we don't talk about it in church very often. Yet, God made sure it's part of the Christmas story. And that wasn't an accident. Tamar's story centers around Judah, who is a guy formed by this generational sin cycle of selfishness and deception and shame, and selfishness and deception and shame. I mean, it started with Abraham, got handed down to Isaac, and then Jacob, and then Judah, and then his son Anan. Like, this family didn't just pass down blessings, they passed down behaviors. Just like your family and my family. Like, sin ran through their family line like DNA. And at one point, Judah came to the conclusion that changing his location would change his life. So he's left his family, but he brought him with him. And the same thing happens to us. Wherever you go, you bring you with you. But the truth is, you don't escape patterns in your life just by changing your scenery. It takes something more than that, because patterns are powerful. And when it comes to patterns, sometimes we inherit patterns. They get passed down to us by our parents, caught and taught from the generations before us. And sometimes we invent new patterns of sin all on our own, but either way, whether we inherit them or we invent them, patterns inhibit us. They hold us down and they rob our futures, and often we don't have the power all on our own to break ourselves free. Like in Genesis 38, the pattern of selfishness and deception destroyed lives. Anan died. Tamar got rejected and betrayed and lied to, and then she deceived and tricked Judah right back. Then he tried to punish her for his sins. And then finally, Tamar forced him to look inside and see who he really was. And he looked in there and realized he wasn't quite who he wanted to be. And he confessed his mess. He stepped out of the darkness and dragged his own brokenness into the light. And it changed the direction of his life. But it still didn't fix everything. Like, Tamar was pregnant with twin sons, and they fought one another in the womb for position and power, just like the generations of brothers before them. Like, even Judah taking one step didn't create enough exit velocity to set his family free from the sin cycle. But it did spark something that would be completed at Christmas, when the family was finally freed. The oldest twin was named Perez. And Matthew, at the beginning of the Christmas story, makes sure we remember Jesus came from the line of Perez. It means the one who breaks out. The one who breaks out. You guys, the cycle for this family, and ultimately the cycle for the human race, it didn't end because Judah was strong. It ended because Jesus is the one who breaks through what we cannot. That's Christmas. Jesus came into the mess to break us out of the mess. So here's the question I want us to sit with this Christmas. What mess, what cycle, what patterns, what hopelessness does Jesus want to break you out of this Christmas? Seriously, ask yourself that question. Like what does Jesus want to break me out of this Christmas? Well, what patterns need to be broken in your life? What mess have you believed disqualifies you from God's future for you? What cycle? Anger, insecurity, lust, shame, addiction, comparison, fear. What cycle has felt bigger than you? Because just like Judah, your turning point starts with recognition. Not hiding it, not polishing it, not pretending it's not there. Just ripping open your chest and confessing it, because confession is the door through which Jesus walks in with healing. And believe this, He can break whatever holds you. He can rewrite what's shaped you in the past. He can turn your mess into a miracle. That's the hope of Christmas. The mess is the reason for the manger, and He stepped in to break you free from it.